Hi, friends. Welcome. So, all your home birth prep needs, how to um, prep for a natural birth. So, I think, first of all, make sure you save for this because I'm going to share a lot of information for you. Um, First of all, I think it's really important to understand that having a natural birth does not have to happen at home. Like if you're feeling led, like I want the least amount of interventions, I really just want to focus on my natural birth process. You can do that in a hospital setting, and that's okay. I think it's important to get an idea of what you want. I think a lot of times we feel that when we think of a natural birth, we think of the home birth, the birth pool, birthing outside, but you can have a natural birth in a hospital. That is what I did with all of my births. I just preferred to be in the hospital in case something happened. I have birth trauma history in my past. Before I even had children, was some trauma that happened into my life relating to that. So I wanted the least interventions as possible, but I still wanted to be in that hospital setting in case I needed it. So that's okay for you. And if you want a home birth, I wish that's something that I tried, but it's just not something that I ended up navigating during that time. Um, However, if you want to go the home birth route, you need to find a midwife in your area because connecting to your local hospital, you don't do typical hospital routine checkups. You have a midwife is your main provider for a home birth. So depending where you live, they're typically a little bit difficult to find, but you can just do a general search in your area and others will pop out, and then you just reach out, and typically midwives will meet with you, be like, hey, what are you imagining, like what are your hopes, your dreams, your worries, all of that, and then being like, this is a good fit for you or it's not a good fit for you. So they're very, very helpful, and just do that search. So there's that number one thing, figuring out if you want it to do it at home or in the hospital. um, as far as natural birth prep, the main thing that you need to understand is your anatomy. Like you need to understand the changes that are going on in your body, how birth affects that, what your body does during the birth process, positioning, muscles, how to relax all of the things, how to prepare and stay strong throughout your pregnancy. So that is the number one thing that you need to know for natural birth prep. And that is the one thing that your doctors probably aren't informing you. They're going to tell you, yep, take a birth class. Some hospitals offer them. Um, some don't anymore. You can find them online. There's so many different things. And honestly, um, they're not really informative of what you need to know of anatomy, and that's just me from doing the research and from going through it 5 times myself, which is why I wrote a book. I have a book for you, which is now live. I'm so excited for you, but this literally goes through all of the anatomy changes that are going on in your body, how to prepare for that, how to stay strong, how to activate those muscles, how to understand your pelvic floor. Very simple things that you can put into your everyday life. It's not this big, you know, routine of like fitness and all of that. It's literally understanding your anatomy. And I walk you through all of that here, which is really great. So, preparing for birth, pregnancy, nutrition, I go over miscarriage and infant loss because that's a huge topic that's just not discussed about. I share all of that in here for you. And then I also go over a complete postpartum recovery rehab and then a motherhood movement plan. It's very simple. Like I give you attainable steps that you can do in your everyday life, just adding pieces here and there. So I have this, and then I have the 2 journals that go with it. So pregnancy and the postpartum journals. So that's step number 1 to understanding your anatomy. Okay. So once you have that down, then you can be like, okay, now I'm going to set up my plan for myself. So once you have like your objectives, and as a background in special education, this is what I always love to share is you need to figure out your objectives, right? Like what is your overarching goal? Okay, so maybe that's prepare for a natural birth. Okay, so the second step is, what are the resources that you need to understand in order to obtain that? So number one is understanding your anatomy. Number two would be finding a midwife, if you're going the home birth route, or just finding a doctor that you're comfortable with, discussing all of these things with him. That's really, really important, is for you to discuss your desires. You can write out a birth plan so it's easier for you to share with your provider. And once you understand the anatomy of your changing body, that will be a lot easier for you to have those discussions with your provider. So then once that's set in place, then you can be like, okay, my everyday plan, what am I going to do? What little things can I do every single day to prepare my body for a natural birth? Because it's a process. It's not just something, like the last couple weeks of your pregnancy, you're like, okay, let's do this thing. It's really, it's a buildup. Like, you're pregnant for 9 months for a reason, so that you can learn all of these things and be like, put them into motion. So that's really it. You just need to, what are your goals? What do you need to know? What can you learn and gather that information and then put that into action? So it's pretty simple. But that's what I have for you on how to have a natural birth. I don't want to make this video any longer because I know, like, our time is important. I will leave the link below for all the, if you are doing home birth, I have all that prep in there. So all these books are linked. There's other books in there. There's products you can have at home. There's the supplements that are third-party tested, the ones that I truly believe are some of the best. All of those things that you might need. So if you have any questions, if you need more help finding home birth stuff in your area or finding a midwife, make sure you reach out to me and I will help you. Have a great day. Peace.